Hello guys, welcome to CHIKARA in 2018. So basically what I'm doing, if you haven't checked out my Dynasties thread that I have on GD, sorry, Grey Dog Software, the TEW1X Dynasties page is basically this, which is basically a August 2018 start for CHIKARA. Basically, what I've done is I have basically done a few things off camera, basically off screen, setting up for this, which is basically a 20 teams with 5 people each facing off to basically win the challenge of the Immortals. The first one obviously was Crown and Court back in 2015-ish at Top Banana. I'm doing it again. In storyline, it is kind of Wink Vavasaur, who has come back as one of the directors of Fun, who have basically come in to basically just kind of make stuff differently. Essentially, Mike Quackenbush has been usurped by a brand new person in charge of CHIKARA, basically buying it out for some reason, and has basically put Wink Vavasaur and Lennox Shikarason in as the new people with it. And the Challenge of the Immortals teams are listed here. The first one is Arcane Horde. If you don't know, Automatis Black, very, very good in CHIKARA's history. And basically what happened is he decided to bring in Crossbones and Hydra, and then also the Uleg, the Usurper, basically mixing between Order of the Neo Solar Temple and then also the Arcane Horde with Oleg. However, he had one spot left over, and basically Lennox Shikarason basically asked him, hey, do you want to maybe go for a mystery pick? And out of the mystery picks ended up being Mr. Zero, who is... Oops, I just spoiled that. Who is Super Beetle behind the mask. That is team number 1. Team number 2, I'm going to do it a little bit out of order. The next team is Serpents. Basically in charge by Ophidian, basically as the main person. Bob Moss is there as well as the Ozone Portal, bringing in Argus and Shinron from basically Ophidian's Snake Pit. And basically Mosses was kind of like, well, what about if we bring someone who can help us in trios matches, and then decides to go for Hurricane. So that is team number 2. Team Canada is kind of a weird one. Basically 3.0 are back. This is just, I believe, before 3.0 basically go to the WWE/NXT. And I've also brought in Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, as well as Psycho Mike. So there's Team Canada. Then we have the Colony Extreme Force back again, with basically new people under the masks. To basically make a 5-person team there. We've got the Auditorium, which is basically Simbodi, Oliver Grimsby, One-Eye Jack, and the Red Queen, basically being a tag team by themselves, who basically somebody was just kind of like, well, you know what, I'm just going to bring these two in, because they might work with us. Next team is Cyberhawk 2000. Basically, Nighthawk / Mike Quackenbush got ousted from the group on off camera by a mysterious benefactor who has just sort of thrown Mike Quackenbush in his own stable. It is basically his own sort of team for this tournament. And all of a sudden, a brand new Hawk has come in Poison Hawk. The next team is Empower. Basically kind of crown and court with Kimberly, bringing in Solo Darling and William Nightingale. Strangely, out of nowhere, bringing in Saturnine. And then Dummy EXO basically putting a request to basically join Empower as well, to basically try to bring back her sister, who is the leader of the Creatures of the Deep. So Ashley Vox basically got took over by evil powers and has turned into Oceana. Murloc, basically a big heavy hitter. Cajun Crawdad and Hermit Crab, and then also Rock Lobster. Next up we have Team CHIKARA, who is Mike Quackenbush as the leader, then Jigsaw, Jolly Roger, who is back, Lance Steele, who is under a new person under the mask, because I think the person who was previously under the mask is retired. And then we have Shane Storm, who weirdly, I didn't know actually still wrestled. I think this mod is a bit outdated, so that might be why, because I'm pretty sure he retired quite a while before this, and like, technically it's 2014, I would think. Or something like that, like, he shouldn't be wrestling anymore. We have Cerberus, formerly known as Battleborn. Kevin Condren, basically formerly known as Kid Cyclone, basically came back and has decided to enter the Challenge of the Immortals, basically bringing in Lucas Calhoun and Missile Assault Man back into the group. And strangely, Lucas wanted to have Jeremy Leary. Jeremy Leary wanted to be a part of it if Blanche Blavish can basically be a part of the team as well, which is how this one started. Next up we have the Proteus Wheel. Just used a disaster box sort of thing for it, just because, kind of works. So we have Calyx, the Instigator, who's technically the leader, but technically Professor Nicodemus is, with Frantic and Volgar basically making the Proteus Wheel. However, Nicodemus has basically made 2 more experiments in Fenris and Nemesis. Now, with all these new ones, so sort of these 2 as well as Cyberhawk 2000's Poison Ant, they are actually in Power Pro Lucha now, which is basically kind of a Chikara successor, because they are going to do a Trios tournament that I think is happening soon, and then also having a version of the Young Lions Cup as well. So that's why I've decided to bring in Fenris and Nemesis to basically be a part of this, as well as Mr. Zero Jr. basically, I think also was one, or I just suddenly found his picture and was like, well. Next one we have is The Colony. Now, if you might be a little bit confused by it, this one is a bit out of place. Basically, because it was a 5-man, I needed someone to go in the colony. Didn't want it to be the person in Jakido, just because it didn't really make any sense. So I ended up going for Fire Ant, Carpenter Ant, Electro Ant, Silver Ant, and Ultimo Ant, with Electro and Ultimo basically having pictures from the Power Pro Lucha site as well. Silverant, if you don't know, is Green Ant 1. Technically, I think Electro is Green Ant 2. I'm trying to remember which is which. Basically, Carpenteran, if you don't know, was basically Pinky Sanchez under the mask, who basically turned on them and essentially was bad, basically. And joined the BDK. Next we have the Dashers Dugout, led by Dasher Hatfield, with Boomer Hatfield, Mark Angelizetti, aka Mr. Touchdown, Matt Classic, and Thunder Kitty being a part of this 5-man team. Originally, I wanted Sugar Dunkerson. However, strangely, WWE decided to hire him. Well, I decided to sign him to an exclusive contract, so couldn't get him. Next, let's go for United Nations. Basically, this 5-man group, led by Juan Francisco de Coronado. I have a United Empire, basically logo, just because I couldn't find a United Nations 1. Basically with one, basically having Brackish and the Boar, the Probably Art Boar, basically being part of his former United Nations. Wani basically being recruited, and then Estonian Thunderfrog, who is usually a good guy, suddenly turned bad, and basically got recruited as well. We have Team Fist, which is Icarus, Chuck Taylor, Granakuma as the 3 starting members, and then the new Fist, which is basically Tony Deppen and Travis Huckabee, as a 5-person team. Next, let's go for Jakido, with 17 as the leader, with Assailant, Combat Ant, Deviant, and the Shard. Then we're going to the Dark Order. So that is Evlono and Stu Grayson as the co-leaders. Ellen Angels and Preston Vance, obviously, if you don't know, were a part of the Dark Order. And then I decided to put in Colin Delaney, because basically Colin Delaney and Brady Lee were very good friends. And obviously because Brody Lee is in WWE, I thought, well, it'd be fitting if there was someone that sort of fit with the Dark Order that wasn't a part of it to come in. Obviously, Anna J isn't in just yet. And then also the other 2 were a part of Chiquito. So I decided to bring in Colin Delaney as basically the 5th member of that. The Nuvia Aesthetic, led by Blank with Still Life, The Whisper, and Ursa, basically really part of the stable, and Blank has strangely managed to bring in The Reason, who is essentially his former partner, who was strangely turned back up, sort of smiling in this picture, but is basically kind of like what the Whisper's doing in his. Basically death staring, essentially, kind of like Blank. Being a 5-man team there. So who we got left? Legion of the Rots, Colony Extreme Force, and BDK. let's go for... Let's go for... Oh no, I think I already did the Colonial Extreme Force. Oh yeah, that's right, I did. I did do Colonial Extreme Force. So, next let's go for the BDK. So the BDK, basically... I should probably have taken that out. Oh well. Basically the BDK, Jacob Halmeyer has... basically got a mystery invite by the benefactor, and basically Jacob was gifted Knockin and Terces with the help of a mysterious artifact. Which, basically, I would recommend looking on the Dynasty site. Because, basically, I will be doing blog posts, with the wrestlers a part of it. And, basically, those will be a part of it. Basically, Jacka, obviously, recently passed away in real life. Which is very, very sad. Which is weird, because he was only 39 and he died of a heart attack, which is just very, very odd. And then Tim Donst, I believe, came back recently for Power Pro Nature. Then we have our last one, which is the Legion of Rot. Legion of Rot, basically Nazmul Dune, I think it's Legion of the Rot. Which picture is this? Yeah, All Glory Nazmul Dune. I couldn't spell it, so I went for Legion of Rot. But to be honest, I might actually change that, actually. Basically, Legion of Rot, Hello Wicked as the leader, Frightmare, Kobold, Kodama, and Oberian as the people. And guys, I'm quickly going to pause while I go into the show for CHIKARASAURAS Rex. Actually, I might quickly make a thumbnail for this video as well, just in case. So I'll see you all in a second, guys. Be right back. Welcome back, guys, to CHIKARASAURAS Rex. So the first match, we have the Second City Animals defeating Bobby Orlando and Kamzagami. Kamzagami, I believe, already was in Chikara to begin with, and Bobby Orlando I just brought in just for this event, because I was trying to see what level of popularity I needed for wrestlers to basically be recognisable instead of unknown in Tri-State. I think Kamzagami was a... Oh wait, I can't see it, never mind. Okay, then next up we have Retail Dragon and TJ Crawford being defeated by Equinox and Kid Cyclone. Right, so Guanakuma can't do Red Agent work, although I can't... Hang on, did I take that? That's what I was talking out of doing that. Then we have a 4-way tag match, which is basically sort of the thing that Chikara does. Another pre-show match. Brought back in Rorschach and Sharecropper with new people under the gimmicks, as well as Melvin Snodgrass and Darkness Crabtree, who all four of these guys are new people in there, and then basically like that with new people under the masks, which I need to remember to get them back in when I get a chance to. I think I have, yep, got all of the behind the masks there. Well, there will be more of them, but for now I'm just having these ones just in case. Then we go into Joker versus Pentaco. Basically, Joker wins with a Joker Plex. I kind of wanted it to be the other move, the Joker Driver, I think it's called, where it's basically like him sort of like I'm trying to think what the move would be called. Sort of a ball driver, essentially. Not like the physical balls, but sort of like where you have them sort of like a bowling ball type thing, but instead of a top, kind of like a one-winged angel, but with both, with the with like the head and that tucked in, essentially. Next up we have a 20-way battle royal, just a bit of a thing to have the pre-show as well, which Mobius wins, which, if you don't know, Mobius basically, I believe, comes back around this time. Notable other people, we have Erica Lay and Chris Statlander and Shockwave the Robot as the people for that, and I believe we start the show. So, the Directors of Fun come out to the ring from the back. This is at the Wrestle Factory, so basically it's just kind of like those type of things. So it's like a very small arena. So they come out to the ring, and Leonard F. CHIKARA basically says that the second Challenge of the Immortals tournament has started right now. However, on the other side, that all of them sort of notice is that a hooded figure is shown in the arena with 3 other cloaked people before all 4 leave the arena, with some of them walking towards the locker room, because there's like a back side to the locker room, if you've seen the Wrestle Factory, with another cloaked person waiting for them at the door, basically at the door for leaving the arena properly. So basically 2 of them have gone, the other 2 have been met by another one that's at the door, and all 3 of them leave together. We kick it off with the Creatures of the Deep of Murloc and Rock Lobster defeating the Colony Extreme Force in Green Ant 2 and Thief Ant 2. And he said Extreme Ant 2. Oops. Then we have Danger Hawk defeating Kobold in a match that is meh. Strangely, it didn't say that anyone that's unimportant, I guess he should have done anything. I think I took that off, which is actually quite good. Because obviously playing like Tokyo Doshi Pro in that is actually quite hard. And also I think Dragon Gate, basically every promotion. Then we have Simbodi basically defeating Boomer Hatfield with a lariat. I kind of would like it as sort of like Brody Lee's lariat, where he sort of like spins, like makes them tumble. Then we have Cyberhawk 2, or Cyberhawk 2002, which is Poison Hawk and Thunderhawk. Oh yeah, Thunderhawk's the other person, with both of these two basically being the new people in Zombie 2000, with them actually being so in real life. I believe they're teaming together, or I think Poison Hawk's teaming with maybe Murloc, because they have the same colours. I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. So Cerberus 2, Jeremy Leary and Blanche Babish. I believe Jeremy Leary was supposed to be a Volgar, or was a Volgar experiment, but then sort of redid themselves. Next up, we have the Dark Order of Evelino, Stu Grayson, and Colin Delaney, defeating the BDK of Jacob Hallermeyer and Tim Dunst, and Uno beating Jacob, which I kind of wanted to be Jacka. So I screwed up there. Oops. Then we have the Whisper defeating Psycho Mike with a submission. Sort of the Whisper, one of my pet projects that I want to do with the Whisper trying to go for the Grand title, I think would be a very, very good thing for him. Next up, we have the BDK 1 of Knockin and Tursis defeating Cyberhawk 2000, and 1 of Razorhawk and Silverhawk. So the BDK have 2 points. At the end, I'm going to show you all of the points at the end. Next up, we have Jakido, who end up defeating Proteus Wheel in a 5-on-5 total elimination match. Kind of a Cybernetico in a way, but with basically both sides sort of having falls one after the other, which, as you can tell, was a very quick match, but oh well. And Deviant and Fenris seemed off the game, which is very odd. Although you're that one, and then you're that one, so that kind of makes sense. Then we have Team Chikara 3 of Mike Quackenbush and Shane Storm, who basically in the history of Chikara ends up being Stigma, and then makes the Unstable with Colin Delaney and Vin Gerard, but you know. Oh yeah, I should probably point out all of the Challenge of the Immortals matches, so all the ones that you're seeing for the main show, they have a point system. So 1 point is for a singles, tag is for 2, trios is 3 points, Atomicos, which is basically what they call a 4-on-4, is 4 points, and then a 10-man tag is a 5-point match. Just to let you know. So next up, we go into a tag match where the Proteot Boar and Juan Francisco de Coronado defeats Argus and Shinron, and annoyingly, Bernard the Boar just got injured, which is annoying. Then we go into a trios match with the Colony Extreme Force defeats Arcane Horde, where Mr. Sotwan 2 pins Hydra. I kind of wanted it to be Mr. Zero. Oops. I think it was taking them so much time, like making the matches, they actually forgot who was actually gonna win and lose with them. Next up, we have the Arcane Horde defeating the Auditorium in a tag match. Automatis Black and Oleg don't work together as a team. Their timing is all over the place. Okay, alright, that kind of makes sense. Then we go into a trios match where Serpents of Huracan, Ophidian, and Omasis defeat the United Nations of Estonian Thunderfrog, Prakash, Sabar, and Wani. Next match, we have a trios match where the colony of Electro Ant, Commenter Ant, and Ultimate Ant get defeated by Kevin Condren, Mr. Saltman, and Lucas Calhoun. If you don't know, Lucas Calhoun was previously the first Volgar, the one that was part of the Flood. Missile Assault Man was previously Missile Assault Ant, the first one, and then Kevin Condron was originally Kid Cyclone 1, just to let you know. Then we go into Creatures of the Deep defeating Team Chikara, with Oceana defeating Lance Steel with a fish on a hook, which I believe is a finisher. Kind of like an STF type move. Then we have the Colony defeating the Dark Order, with Fire Ants defeating Allen Angels. Then we go into a 4-on-4 match where the Legion of the Rot defeats the Nors Niver Aesthetic, I believe it is called. And Hallowicked defeats Ursa Minor with a Graveyard Smash, which I believe is kind of like a STF. No, a Go to Sleep, I believe. Then we have Team Canada versus Dasher's Dugout, where Dasher's Dugout wins when Dasher Hatfield defeats Travis Williams with a baseball slide kick, I believe, kind of like the Ricky Doy's Baraka sliding kick, I believe. If it's not, I'm going to be very, very confused by it. And then I believe our main event is Empower versus Team Fist, where Team Fist wins the match after Chuck Taylor defeats Dummy EXO with a awful waffle. And then we go into some post-show matches. So we have basically just a slugfest of random people that will be hopefully a part of Chikara. So obviously we've got the Ice Creams who are in singles. We have Kamen MK, we have Sergeant 2, and we have another Thunder Frog. Whoa, which one's which? And also Blaster McMassive, and Kobe Carino, and a guy called Ellis Taylor, in just a 8-way sort of go out there and do something match. And then in our proper main event, we post-show main events, we have the Closers versus the Force for the Campeonatos de Parejas in a 2-out-of-3 falls match, where the Force wins by 2 straight falls. I probably should have done 1-1 and then blah blah. But anyway, so let's see, where can I find my thing? Ooh, this will work. I think I just need to change one thing, because Empower didn't win that. It's actually Fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let me just quickly save that. So basically, this is the tally that I have for the first event. So basically, Team Canada didn't get any points. Neither did Empower, neither did Proteus Wheel, with sort of the rest kind of getting points here and there. So Arkenhold has 2, Cerberus has 3, Cruiser the Deep has 3, Dash to Gal has 4, Chiquito has 5, Legion Rot has 4, the Asphetic has 1, Serpents has 3, Team Chikara has 2, Steam Fist have 5, the BDK have 2, Kalani has also 2, Extreme Force has 3, Dark Order has 3, Obitorium has 1, United Nations has 2, and Subhawk 2000 have 2. So that's essentially how it goes. So guys, thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you later. Have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.